Okay, Boker Tov. Okay, Boker Tov. I have the pleasure to have the two tremendous, wonderful people of the Kosel Maravi. Well, Tzvi and Steve. Steve Gardner. How are you, Steve?
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem.
I miss you guys. Wonderful.
We miss you.
Okay.
The Kotel's not the same.
Well, that's not true. The Kotel, with you guys, Shomrei HaKotel. That's what you are. Anyway, so Tzvi, you're the Turi Karta. You guys are up the hill. You're on Har Zion.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can get started. It's already Erev Shabbos Kodesh Parshas Devarim. I feel we're starting a new book. So, it's interesting. The 3 weeks, you're not supposed to start, and especially the 9 days, you're not supposed to make a Shechianu. But here I feel like when we start a new Chumash, we're starting, it's really like a Chassan Bracious, Chassan Devarim. And it's good to be able to start that. And it's going to be a Shabbos Chazon, and the Shabbos right before Tisha B'Av. Okay, and how is the davening today?
Beautiful.
Every day is beautiful. Big Tzibor. Oh, that's true. Erev Shabbos Kodesh, they all come, especially for Erev Tisha B'Av. So, I just want to mention, you're going to have to help me, Tzvi, because my pronunciation is pretty bad. Today's the Yartzeit of Reb Shimshon Me Astropoli. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, very good. Shimshon Astropoli.
Okay. And it's also Yosef ben Joya. Joya. We'll talk about that. And then the son-in-law of Ramosha Feinstein, Rav Shiskal. Rav Eliyahu Shiskal.
On that note, we're going to depart because we've reached our first destination.
Okay, but we want to wish.
So I'm going to keep you on, and I'll continue. But Steve is signing off.
I just want to say to Steve, my best wishes to Marsha for a good Shabbos. Okay, great. Okay, very good. Good Shabbos.
Thank you very, very much. It was a wonderful Shabbos.
Okay, so now we go from one ohel to the other. As you can see, the beautiful scenery. Look at that. This is Har Zion. And Tzvi is going to his car, which is a Peugeot.
Can we put the phone down for a minute?
No.
Okay, Peugeot.
Okay.
Okay, Peugeot. Open the door, Peugeot. Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna. Usually on Erev Shabbos Kodesh, I mention the Chafetz Chaim al Torah, and it's very interesting. What I have here is basically what you already brought down in the Finkel. You had something on this pasuk. It says Rav lachem sov es ahorazeh pnu lachem tzafona al tiskaru bum. And you brought down also, the Chafetz Chaim says, in the Medrash, Huva b'Yalkut, Imra Isim also as Esav. Very interesting. The Chafetz Chaim was very careful in pogroms and times when there was anti-Semitism, rampant anti-Semitism. He would, how come I don't even see myself at all in this.
Did you said it correctly?
I'm here, okay, but I have Tzvi. Okay. Anyway, so in a time of rampant anti-Semitism, let me see if I change this. That does no.
Turn it around.
Help. Okay. So in a time of rampant anti-Semitism, when he was confronted with something that's anti-Semitic, instead of confronting it, he would say, just go away from it. And this is what he says: Shemavakesh lizgaris bachem lo samdu kenegdo. If someone challenges you, don't confront him. Ella ispino asmechem lefanov. Do you remember? Der denkst als gebringt dem Pasuk and ot the Gazette bringt dem what? The Medrash Rabbah. Ulahecha nivrach. So where would he go? Baruch Torah. If a person is confronted with a challenge,
Antläufen. Du darfst antläufen.
Adaf antläufen means you have to flee. The ein safona el Torah.
Habe ich gefragt, der Borei Olam, der Kodesh Baruch Hu, zu Lahan, to where? No, not where. How do you say where?
To Vemen.
Then?
To
To Vemen. Not Vemen. How do you say where? To where?
Dorton.
No, Dorton is there.
To there.
Dorton is there. He's saying where.
How do you say where? How do you say where?
V. Avu. Right. Avu.
Avu. Als even gefragt Avu, als der Kodesh Baruch Hu malo, antläufen zum Teure.
That's
Und
right.
warten dort, ad bias HaMashiach.
Shenema Yitzpon Yeshorim Tushia. And Chavetz Chaim is Mamshich. HaTorah Melamdenu Lebli Lamod Neged Umos Afilu B'Shah Shemiskaros Banu. Aleinu Laleches Be'ikfos Avinu Yaakov. B'Milchamto Im Eisav Achiv. Keberamdan, Ramban. B'Parshas Vayishlach. Sheyesh B'Zeh Remez Ladoros. Kikol Asher Irala Avinu Im Eisav Achiv Ye'erlan Talmid B'nei Esav. In other words, Chavetz Chaim was telling us that whatever happened to Esav, any confrontations could be Arabs, could be all sorts of challenges. He says, "Ra'oi lanu le'echos b'darko shel tzadik, shenazmin atzmeinu l'shloshes advarim shehizmin atzmo l'tfila l'doren u'lahatzola b'derech milchama livroach l'notzel. V'hinei kol zman shalachnu b'derech hakvusha azos hitzilanu kadosh baruch hu miyadam u'mi'az Hudachnu midarcheinu v'chadashim mikorav bo v'enichim minhagim chadashim." Chavetz Chaim was a little concerned that there were too many militant people in his days. Azvu neshek avasenu v'achzu b'klei korov shel sonenu. He said they would abandon the arms, the neshek, the arms of Torah, and would adapt the arms of our enemies. In other words, regular ammo. Halachnu halach v'chasar matzanu ros rabos v'tzoros, which resulted in many tzoros. Yerachim Hashem al ameinu v'yashiv shofteinu k'rishona. That was his message. But maybe you could refresh our memory from your Winkel of yesterday. You were able to bring. What did you bring as a result? That you should run to Torah and Antlofen to Torah.
Und
Yeah, the Medrash says that you should run to Torah and hide yourself there. That's Upnulachem Tzofona is to Roshon Safun, to hide yourself in the base Medrash and wait, because just you have to wait until Mashiach. Why? Because the schus of Esav, unfortunately, in that
Keep it up.
was Mechabed, his father,
Keep it up.
is so great that even though it was him, that koach goes on from every generation until the time of the Mashiach. And therefore, we shouldn't, with Bnei Esav, we're not allowed to start up with them. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave them a part, not supposed to, can't go to war with them, can't start up with them. So I just said, I took from there that a little to learn the koach of Kibbutz Horim. He was only, I never forget, one time I was talking to Rav Moshe about this, and I said, well, Esav was, he was Mekayim Kibbutz Ovaim, and he was, like nobody else. So he corrected me on the spot, and he said, look, he says, who came Kibbutz Ov, no Kibbutz Ovaim. Nowhere does
wow.
it say that he was Mechabed,
Wow,
his mother.
Wow,
Only
מעניין
his-
his father.
Yeah, his father. He was Mechabed, and for that, schus of being Mechabed, his father, it lasts for all time until the Mashiach. So
Wow.
that's what I said at the end. I said I don't know where this is from, but it's a word that's well known.
And powerful.
since the koach of Esav is that he was keyboard of, and that's like all the generations. It's a problem for us because that's their schus. So therefore, people say that's why in our times all of a sudden people are living longer. It's not uncommon that people live to 100 years old. So why all of a sudden are people starting to so everybody's well? Because modern medicine is in a different place and it can bring longevity. And say, no, that's not the reason. The reason is because if our parents live longer, so it gives us more time to be mechabed them. And then we can counteract the keyboard of
Esav.
Esav. Because he only had a certain amount and it's going to last till the time. But if we can take advantage of this longevity that our parents have by being extra b'kayim the mitzvahs, so we can counteract that, and B'ezrat Hashem we can be matzliach.
Oh, okay. So therefore, that's
Yes, Yakoah.
we segue into the Tehillim of today, and because I knew you're not really an Erev Shabbos person, I want to reward you for stepping in, and I'm going to give you Tzadik Dalid. Can you hear it?
Don't hear anything. House min hashamayim.
That's Moshe Chabusha.
I can feel it, but I can't hear it.
Mark, let me hold this close to him. It's going to come out the bottom. It's coming out of the bottom.
My question is, if I don't hear it, so nobody hears
No,
it.
they do. They do hear it.
How do you know?
Because I play it back during the day. ידע ומטרתך תלמדנו מימי רעה עד יקרא צדק ישוב משפט ואחריו מי יקום לי לולי כמעט אם אמרתי תנחום ודם נקי והיא וישב אחינו כל בית ישראל כל בית הנשונים בצרה ובשי ימו בין ביבשה המקום ירחם נשארה ומשיבלג ובז קריב נאמר אמן. Okay, so now we come to the second pasuk. My Yiddish is Hinase Shofet Haaretz Weis uns dein der Hobenkeit. What do you think der Hobenkeit is? Der Hobenkeit.
Hope I have.
Their wherewithal.
No, it's their exaltation, their loftiness. It's hinase. Heb. That's what it is. Their Heibenkeit. Hebon. And then it says, Shofet haaretz, was die bist der Shofet von die Welt, hashev gemul, ker a batzolen. Ker is to turn
over.
right, turn around. Ker bat sung. Batzolen.
Batzolen's to pay.
To pay, as Anne says, payment. Payment. Al geim auf die welche halten dem Groß a kegen dir. That's my Yiddish. And since are you at God Soccer right now?
Yes, I am.
So are you vinkled? Are you ready to tell us your preview?
So there's no preview today. Today's Erev Shabbos.
Okay.
So today we don't do a Winkel today. It's
Okay.
our day off.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Ich wünsch. Wünsch means I wish you. Ich wünsch euch. You should have a beautiful, shena, a menuchas dicke, a heilige,
Spazier.
Well, no, spazier. Shabbos Kodesh. You should enjoy your Shabbos tzvi. Okay, so we will tune in on Sunday, and we wish everyone. Okay, thank you very much, Reb Tzvi. Okay, here we go. Kol tu. So now I'm going to, and I want to thank my Rebbetzin, who it's not easy to hold that, so that we're able to get a hold of Tzvi. Right now, let's go right into the yard sites, because we're already way into this year. And today, the yard site, as I mentioned, is Shimshon ben Pesach me Astropoli, Chai, Lifnei 400 shana. He lived 400 years ago, and Neherag al Kiddush Hashem. He was killed. Kiddush Hashem. B'Yom Gimel Av, which is today, the third day of Av. Bishnat, my wife asked about Tach V'Tat, the massacres, 1648 and 1649. Elef Sheish Mod Arim Shmona. Reb Shimshon Hayam Kubal Mefursam. Reb Nata Hanover. Whenever I think of Hanover, I'm sorry, I always have to say manufactures Hanover, but here we are. We're talking about Reb Nata. And when I think of Nata, I think of Anne's father, who was known as Nasan.
No.
As Nata.
No, his name was Nata, and he was known as Nati.
Okay, Nati. But here we see Nasan, Nun Tes Nun, and Nun Tes Ayin. Nasan Nata Hanover.
Tes Ayin.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, both names, they're sort of like, one name is like the other. B'sifra Yavin Mitzula Kosev Shel Rebbe Shimshon Haya Magid. In other words, some people had a schus. They had the Giloi Eliyahu, and some people had like a malach that would be a magid. Shekila lo sodas kamola Rabbi Yosef Kara, just like the Mekubal, that Yosef Kara, who wrote the Shulchan Aruch, the Mechaber. He's known we know, just like the Ramah is known as the Mappa, so the Rabbi Yosef Kara is known as the Mechaber, and he had a magid that would tell him Torah, to sodas. Shimish b'Rabbanos b'Poldolia, it's ne'gzeros tachvatat. Reb Shimshon is parsem keish Elokim kadosh, hu ina et atzmo b'ta'aniyot. He afflicted himself with tanis. Panei elov chachmei Yisrael b'vakashay shigal lehem et ha'ketz of Uli Sarei. He was known as such a tzaddik. People will tell him, when is the Mashiach coming? And he refused to tell him. Haramchal, Ramosha Chaim Litzato, b'derech, in his sefer, Derech Eitz HaChaim Mesaper, a Reb Shimshon, sheishbia et hasitra achra, he made the devil, so to speak, swear, al exeris tachvatat v'nena, she'im yivatlu Shabbos mila Torah, Azivat Luxeros. The Sitra Achra said, if you eliminate Chas v'Shalom, Shabbos, and Bris Milah, and learning Torah, those three biggies, then the Gzeros will be eliminated. On a Reb Shimshon, Sha'os Achas Min Torah Lo V'Likul. Not one os of the three will be eliminated. Mesuper b'Sefer Yovan Metzula Shekasher Tzoro Akuzakim Al Ir Palmanya Yada Reb Shimshon Sheiplu B'Adareim Hu va'amo v'hu v'imo Shalosh Meot Tzadikim Lobshu Tachrichim. Can you imagine? They knew they were about to be massacred. So what did he command them to do? To actually adorn their shrouds. In other words, the clothing that's put on of the mason. Vis'asvu talis, and they put on a talis for inichu tefillin, and they put on tefillin vis'asvu beikneses, and they gathered in the shul. They spalo v'chiko ad asher bo rotzchem v'kulam mesu hakadosh Hashem.
Dressed in it.
And just in their tachrichem, talis, and tefillin, they davened and they were slaughtered.
Oh, and they were slaughtered b'chol.
Of course, they were slaughtered, but they died al kiddush Hashem. Okay, that reminds me of Har Nof. Do you remember Har Nof?
Yes.
Nebuch. They were the chakras in the morning, and they had their talis and tefillin on, and they were unfortunately butchered. Mechiburov, Dan Yadin Shehu Pirish Al Sefer Karnayim Mireb Aaron Mikunenu, and these are Od Chibur. We're talking about the publications, and also a Sefer Niflos Chadoshes Pirish Al Torah. From his descendants are Pesach Langzam, the father of the three Elimelech Medina of the Bali Bnei Yisachar. Now, what's very interesting, he brings down, Shemayahu brings down that the number of letters from the names of the Ovos. You hear this, yeah?
I'm listening.
Mispar Osios b'Shemosim Shekol Ovos. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. How many letters are there? 13. Who Shloshisrei? The Gam Shel HaImos.
Wow.
Sora, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah are also 13.
13.
Zeo Misparim Shel Yudgei Gimel Midas Rachamim. There's the same number of the 13 attributes of mercy of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Gam HaGematria Shel Echad, 1 is, the Gematria is 13. The Divrei Reb Shimshon Zemer Ramez Shal Avos v'Imamas Hayu Elu Shefitzu Ba'olam Es Yichudo Shel Hashem. Our forefathers and our foremothers, they spread the idea of the monotheism, that Hashem is one.
Oneness of Hashem.
The Kol Osio Shel Avos v'Imos B'Yachad. So, Anne, if you take 13 plus 2, you come with
15.
We come with 26.
How come?
13 and 13.
You said 13 times 2. You should have
No.
said 13 plus 2.
I'm sorry. 13 times 2 is 26, and that's the gematria of Yud Kei Vav Kei, the shame of Hashem.
Wow.
Okay, so...
What Bensi will love this one.
Yes, Bensi, if you're listening, this is dedicated to you. Okay, it's also to the yard site of Yosef ben Joya, who was niftar in 1768, Nolad B'Tzfat. He was a shadar, shlicha d'Rabbanan. He was sent out to collect monies for the community of Hebron, I think it was, on the Tzfas. He went to Turkey. Italia, to Italy, and he came back to Tzfas in 1746. Uvar Yerushalayim, the 1759, and he was Mechaber Tal Oros. Today is also Yartzeit Gimel of Eliyahu Moshe ben Avram Yaakov Shizgal, Shenolad ב-1921 ונפטר ב-1973. נולד בסלוצק, משפחתו עבר לאמריקה כשהוא היה בן 4. התחתן in a bat של Moshe Feinstein when he was 21 years old. He was a Rosh Mesivta in Torah Vodaas and afterwards in MTJ, Tefaרת Yerushalayim, the yeshiva of Moshe Feinstein. Okay, so now we come to the Kontras Teferet Adam, and today being Gimel Over, being Messiah, Perek Hey, and just like we're beginning Perek Dvarim, Parshas Chumash Dvarim, we're going to be Maschil, we're going to begin chapter 6. There's a long footnote, and we're already, well into the shir. Valkain, Achi, Chos v'chamol nafshecha v'lo sispate achrei eitzes chavercha v'oz yeh me'usher chalkecha l'olam haba. Therefore, the סיום of Perek Hey is that don't be enticed and by your friends who want you to shave with a razor, but think about Olam Haba, the future. Perek Vav, Bo Yavura Od, Sibas HaKishut Vas Silsil Shemavide Liu. The Chofetz Chaim is analyzing why, when you curl your hair and you spend time on your looks, how it could lead to you to using a razor. V'hinei, kasher, haskol l'sibas ha'ish ha'megalech zekano ba yadei hahergo l'kashet rosho l'sal sa'oro. All these things start in grooming. No, grooming yourself. V'kachu darko shel yetzer hara. That's the way Yetzer Hara does. Hayom omer lo asekach. Today he says do a little this. Machar asekach. Next day do a little more. Achi yakansu be'alvan hayoser chomer, till he goes down the slippery pole, until he goes into the very severe averos. Okay. Therefore the Chofetz Chaim is navi levayra at chama garua. Chofetz Chaim could say, I'm going to teach you how terrible it is. Inyan hazeh. Shal silsuva kishut harbe. Hinei, harishon l'chol tzorich leda, she'etzem hasilsum av shechora ein bo isur, aval be'emes gam zeh nechlal. You could see, even though there's no specific isur of grooming yourself, but we could see what it leads to. Belav, the lo yilbush gever simlas isha, if a person obsesses and on his looks, it's almost like putting on clothing of women. Shakishut lo hutar.
Wait.
Rak lenashim shehem tzrichim l'kach. Women, of course, it's okay. But men, if you obsess in it, it's already not such a good sign. Shenis, shekazehu megari yetzer hara atzmo. He causes the yetzer hara to focus on itself. Kamosha amru chazal sheyetzer hara omei be'emsa baltaya. The yetzer hara, so to speak, is standing in the middle of the street. The person is concentrating on his looks, and is swinging his heels. Omer hadin didihi, he escorts him. He entices him from doing just a slight avera to a more serious one. Until ultimately he uses a razor and transgresses against 5 prohibitions which we learnt about. Shehischil, Lismoach Ksas, Choser Megalcho, Yetzahara, Mavich Ba'ab Mimeno, B'chol Gimel V'Dalid, Yomim, Chamisha Lavin Daraisa. And look how it accumulates. Every 2 or 3 or 4 days he shaves again, and each time it's 5 lavim. Begam Pasarosh, and also not only his beard but his face, and has 2 more lavim, so you have 7 together. Below Yashvik Yetzor Bezel Levad Kol Echad Yaknisena Ob Hiskarvus Larayos the Hainashiava Biachad. One, the good looks lead to mixing and between the genders, male and female, and ultimately illicit relations. So that's the main text. And let's go to the Hagah, the first footnote. Vachi Isa B'Zohar Kodesh B'Parshas Vayishlach. By the way, we talked about yesterday with 7 names of the the 7 names of Zohar Kodesh, Medrash Sheva Shemos, 7 names for Gehenim. And what about those 7 names of Gehenim? Zual Zubakulon, Meducha Bezumazman Rishayim Lidon Sham. Different levels for wicked people. First level is Midora Rishon Bezeb, Midora Elyon, and that's the higher level. Rishon Kama Nechvashal Malachi Akabola Kain Habor like in a bore, in a pit. Asher mayim ein bo, there's no water in it. Aval nechashim hakrovim, but they have scorpions, yesh bo. Kach hamador hazeh nikra bor. The first level, kama kitos, shamalachik habola ke'ein nechashim nisrofim asher ein lem lachash. So they can't be charmed, and therefore they are, a level of Gehenna. Shlosha Mamunim, there are three in charge. Sholta Gehenna, in charge of Gehenna. Vehem Mitachish Yedei Duma, and also the second level is Duma. Vehem Mashchis, and they destroy. Af, the three levels, Mashchis, Af, Vechema. So we already had Bor, and then the three levels are destruction, anger, and wrath. L'chol acherim amunim nechlim l'chol osam amunim danim rishavim v'danim bam navshasem shiroshaim. These are all different levels of Gehenna. L'chol osam kizas shemalachei chabola kulam marishim Gehenna and nishma kolam. You could hear the terrible voices. Barakiva kol harshoim v'Gehenna tzvachem, and the voices from Gehenna are yelling, Vai, vai, ve'ein merachim aleim. There's no one to pity them. I'll call Elu, Hashlosha Hamunim, Imshar Kisa Shemalchei Achabola, Shemarishim, Gehenna Amakra Alayu, Kol Sha'anan Meir Kol, from the Pasuk Nishayahu, Perik, Samach Ches, Pasuk Vav, Kol Mehechel, Kol Hashem, Mishalim Gvul Oivav, Ayin Shemameh, She Danim Bechol Midor Bedor Al Ezavonos Hashem B'Shem. According to your level of sin, so is the level of Gehenna. We're already in 31. We have two Hagos. Okay. Achi Isa B'Zorah Kodesh B'Parshas Vayishlach V'Amar Tov Nikla V'Avralo Mimiskabe V'Chaser Lehem Haikra Al Yetzahara Itmar Begin the Ium Katarga Dardi Legabe B'nei Nosh V'Yetzahara Ihu Iba Lebei Ru'aisa Davar Nash. It lifts up the heart and the pride, the gaiva. V'azil avrecha metaltev sa'ara u'bereisha ad isa iskai. It exalts over the man and destroys and sells him. Mashkle gehenim avotov nikla hu v'lo azil avrecha v'yetzahara. Person who doesn't follow the yetzahara lo skai klal mech ruche v'libe v'greisa l'gabi chavkadosh baruch hu v'gedina yetzahara mishapich la'avralo. The lo yachal l'shilton, and if you follow the Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the Yetzer Hara will not be able to control you. Vahu bar nash shalit leha b'midvarim v'ata timshal bo mipkabi kama da'amin and iu izim b'garmi metalsi l'shara is gai beruche v'iu chasar lehem chasar mehem nusa shelo yelech makod kivayde sorich la'adam leches b'nekiyas. V'amar roches adam panav yaglov b'chol yom mishem kavod kona v'ikar zeh hu riboy kishu v'tilto zel midarchi Yetzirah. Person who obsesses in his looks will fall into the Yetzirah. And now the second Hagah. And there's a raya from the Gemara in Shabbos, Nun Amid Beis. Megara Adam glidei tzoa v'glidei maka sha'al b'soro Mashum Sa'aro, Ve'im Bishvil, Liapos Asmo Asur, Upirish Rashi Mishum Lo Yilbosh, Gever Simlas Isha, Vafilu Amatisham, Hurak Mishum Kavod Kono, the Iso, and it's brought down in Shabbos Sadik Dalit on the Bays, Dafilu, Lilkot, Livna Bitoch Shkoros. If a person just wants to pluck his white hairs from his black hairs, Gam Kain Asur Mishum Lo Yilbosh, that's also a form of femininity. Kivin she'usa zeh, this gas, he's only doing it for his own self pride, kadesh she'yiyah dira bachor, so that he look young. V'das Rambam, the Chayv Malkus says that. So that's the second Hagah, and for the final Hagah, O shelifnei madragoso merchuach leiskashe b'malbushe kavod v'kedoma sheholek bein Hashem kadesh shelo yisbayish. So the only reason he dresses in that way is that he would not be embarrassed, but ultimately he'll be embarrassed by the Malachim Lamala. And we wish everyone a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
A good Shabbos, and you should enjoy Parshas Devarim, Chazon, get ready for Tisha B'Av, Mirz Hashem will be a moed legula. And Shabbos, a good Shabbos.